Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. اعدام ورزشکاران محکوم باید گردد. FIFA, one rule for all. FIFA, one rule for all. FIFA, one rule for all. Democracy, freedom with Maryam Rajavi.
Democracy, freedom with Maryam Rajavi.
Down with terrorist regime of Iran.
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 Free, free Iran. Free, free at least. Free, free Iran. Free, free Atlas. Free Atlas in Iran. Now, now, now. Free Atlas in Iran. Now, now, now. اینو من تیکه اول میگم، تیکه دوم شما بگین free athletes in Iran. Democracy, democratic republic in Iran. Democratic republic in Iran. Democratic republic in Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. قسمت دوم جواب بدید. FIFA, one rule for all. FIFA, one rule for all. FIFA, one rule for all. Free political athletes, prisoners in Iran. Free political athletes, prisoners in Iran. اعدام ورزشکاران محکوم باید گردد. نه سرکوب نه اعدام خاموش نمیشه قیام. نه سرکوب نه اعدام خاموش نمیشه قیام. Down with terrorist regime of Iran. Down with terrorist regime of Iran. Free, free Iran. Free, free Atlas. Free, free Iran. Free, free Atlas. No Shah, no to mullahs, freedom in Iran. No Shah, no to mullahs, freedom in Iran. اینو جواب بدین. Free athletes in Iran. Democratic Republic in Iran. Democratic Republic in Iran. ورزشکاران بیدارن، از شاه و شیخ بیزارن. ورزشکاران بیدارن، از شاه و شیخ بیزارن. خلق ایران یک صدا. خلق ایران یک صدا. خلق ایران یک صدا. قسم به خون یا Free, free Iran! Free, free athletes! Free, free Iran! Free, free athletes! Free athletes in Iran! Now, now, now!
صوت حمید عظیمی حل اون خوش میره حله حمید عظیمی
Free
کجاست؟
athletes in Iran! Now, now, now! محکم جواب بدین. No شاه, no to mullahs! Freedom in Iran! No شاه, no to mullahs! Freedom in Iran! Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran.
گفتن یه ذره انگلیسی شعار بدیم برای کلیپا میخوان.
نه سرکوب نه اعدام خاموش نمیشه قیام
نه سرکوب نه اعدام خاموش نمیشه قیام. Down with terrorist regime of Iran. Down with terrorist regime of Iran. Free, free Iran. Free, free athletes. Free, free Iran. Free, free athletes. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. ورزشکار زندانی آزاد باید گردد. ورزشکار ایرانی آزاد باید گردد. نه سلطنت نه رهبری جمهوری دموکراتیک. خلق ایران یک صدا. خلق ایران یک صدا. خلق ایران یک صدا. قسم به خون یاران. قسم به خون یاران. Down with terrorist regime of Iran. Down with terrorist regime of Iran.
برای که این وسط کاریه یعنی همه پایینن همه یه کاری دارن یه دقیقه
Free, free Iran. Free, free athletes.
برای انسیارای
Free, free Iran. Free, free athletes.
باید جوانان بودن الان من مثلا بگیرم
Free athletes in Iran. Now, now, now. Free athletes in Iran. Now, now, now.
به کی بگم به کی مسئول
No Shah, no to mullahs. Freedom in Iran. No Shah, no to mullahs. Freedom in Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. No Shah, no to mullahs. Freedom in Iran. No Shah, no to mullahs. Freedom in Iran. Democracy, freedom with Maryam Rajavi. Democracy, freedom with Maryam Rajavi.
We're going to put it on the stage.
خلق ایران یک صدا. خلق ایران یک صدا. خلق ایران یک صدا. قسم به خون یاران. قسم به خون یاران. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Regime change in Iran by the people of Iran. Down with terrorist regime of Iran. Free, free Iran. Free, free
Lo puedo poner ahí encima del otro.
Free, free Iran. Free, free access. Free access in Iran. Now, now, now. Free access in Iran. Now, now, now. No Shah, no to mullahs. Freedom in Iran. No Shah, no to mullahs. Freedom in Iran. Democratic Republic in Iran. Free address in Iran. Free address in Iran. جواب بدین. Free address in Iran. Democratic Republic in Iran. Democratic Republic in Iran.
شاید قطع بشه چون مثلا یه لحظه بدید من ببینم الان باش
Testing, 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 testing. It's on. Testing. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Hamid Azimi. I am a member of the National Council of Resistance of Iran, which is a coalition of different Iranian groups. It is led by Mrs. Maryam Rajavi, and we have our own provisional government in exile with a path for democracy, a democratic republic, secularism, and freedom for Iran. And we are a forward-looking path which says no to the dictatorship of Shah and no to the Ayatollahs. Today, we are calling on FIFA to suspend the Iranian Football Federation because it operates under the direct influence of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, IRGC, in violation of FIFA rules. FIFA's statutes require member associations to manage their affairs independently, free from third-party influence. They require neutrality in matters of politics and religion, independent from outside control and protection against any form of political interference. Yet, the Iranian Football Federation operates under the shadow of IRGC. Sports in Iran are not separate from politics. Stadiums are among the few places where millions of Iranians gather and express themselves. For that reason, football and sports have become strategic targets for control and repression by IRGC. Over 4 decades, the IRGC has systematically taken control of Iranian sports institutions. The president of the Iranian Football Federation, Mehdi Taj, is a former IRGC intelligence officer. IRGC commanders occupy senior management positions throughout Iran's football system and clubs. At least 15 of the clubs in Iran, Major League, are managed by former IRGC commanders. This is direct political and military interference in football. Athletes who speak out face intimidation, arrest, imprisonment, professional bans, and forced confessions on national TV. Families are threatened. State-controlled media identifies target athletes who support protesters. The world witnessed such thing in the 2022 uprising when champion wrestler Navid Afkari was tortured and executed after participating in the uprising. But Navid was not the first. Since 1981, hundreds of Iranian athletes have been executed because of their opposition to the dictatorship. Many were supporters of People's Mujahideen Organization of Iran, PMOI, also known as MEK, the principal movement that has challenged this regime since its earlier days and continues to play a leading role in the struggle for freedom and democracy. Among the martyrs were Habib Khabiri, captain of the national football team, Furuzan Abdi, a member of Iran's national women volleyball team, Hushang Montazir-Zuhur, an Olympic wrestler, and many others whose only crime was refusing to surrender to their beliefs. The repression continues today. Since the nationwide uprising that began in January 2026, athletes have been killed, imprisoned, and executed for standing with Iranian people. Iran also remains the only in the world that systematically prevents women from freely attending sporting events and entering stadiums. The facts are clear. FIFA prohibits political interference and discrimination. Yet, Iran's Football Federation functions under the direct influence of IRGC. That is why we call on FIFA to suspend the Iranian Football Federation. But let us recognize a larger truth. The crisis in Iran sport is not separate from the crisis facing Iran itself. The same regime that controls football clubs executes athletes. suppresses women, and denies freedom to an entire nation. The solution is not reform. The solution is democratic change by the people of Iran. In order to establish a democratic republic based on freedom, equality, and separation of church and state. This is exactly why that on June 20th, coming up, all of us will be among 100,000 strong people in Paris, holding pictures of our athlete and non-athlete martyrs, asking the world to recognize the right of the Iranian people for regime change and putting a stop to executions and all of the oppression in Iran. Thank you very much, everybody. Now it's my honor to introduce our first speaker, Mr. Asghar Adibi, who does not really need any introduction to the soccer fans. Mr. Adibi, please. I am so glad to announce that with Mr. Adibi, we have Mr. Yusuf Mahdavi, who is a footballist, who was among one of the few who played for one of the Iranian clubs with Habib Khabiri. So glad to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
حمیده صداش کن. به نام ایران و به نام آزادی و با درود به روان پاک شهدای ورزشکار و جوانان دلیر ایران که در مقابل این دیکتاتوری ضد بشری با تمام توان خود ایستادند.
With the remembrance of all of the martyrs of Iran's freedom, particularly the athletes who have shed their life for a free Iran.
من فکر میکنم به من میگن یه مقداری فوتبال بازی کردی. خودم زیاد یادم نمیاد.
I've been told that I have played some soccer, but jokingly I don't remember much.
بعضیا میگن تو تیم ملی هم بازی کردی. شاید.
Some people say that I have played in Iran's national team, maybe.
ولی شاید اینجا اومدم یه حرف مهمتری رو بزنم. این اومدم این مسافت طولانی رو بیشتر از 15-16 ساعت تو پرواز و با شرایطی که نباید پرواز بکردم بیام اینجا که یک کلام فقط بگم. ولی قبل ولی قبل از اون باید از شما مردم دلیر ایران، هواداران مقاومت که واقعا در سرما، گرما، در هر شرایطی به یاری مقاومت و به یاری مردم ایران میایید تشکر کنم، سر تعظیم فرود بیارم و بگم اگر این مقاومت توانسته این چنین پایدار و استوار بمونه و اهداف مردم ایران رو در پیش بگیره، جز از حمایت شما و مردمی که در داخل کشور بود به هیچ عنوان قابل اجرا نبود.
I first want to thank every one of you who are participating here as the supporters of the Iranian resistance, and let it be known that the Iranian resistance success depends on people like you who come out in winter or summer, cold or hot, to support the resistance and for the people inside Iran to support this resistance.
همینطور که گفتم اومدم اینجا که بگم این تیم ملی ایران نیست. این
I'm
تیم
here to say that this is not the national soccer team of my homeland Iran.
این تیم آخوند هاست. دلایل اون رو سعی میکنم با توجه به وقت کمی که در اختیارم هستش بازگو بکنم. شاید صدای ما به گوش اون مسئولینی که باید برسه و خواست مردم ایران. این حرف تنها من نیست، حرف مردم ایرانه که با عکس العمل خودشون بارها گفتن این تیم آخونداست، این تیم ملی ایران نیست.
This team belongs to the Ayatollah's regime, and I'm gonna talk about the reasons why I say that, and this is not something that I say. The people of Iran also call this team the team of the Ayatollahs.
همینطور که حمید همرزم گرامیم اشاره کرد، از همون ابتدا به واقع چه دلیلی داشت که رژیم ورزشکاران سرشناس ایرانی رو، آن هم در حالی که مدت کوتاهی از انقلاب نگذشته بود و تمامی ورزشکاران سرشناس ایرانی با انقلاب همراه بودند، بر علیه دیکتاتوری شاه به جوخای اعدام سپرد.
Truly we should ask, why is it that the Ayatollah's regime executed so many of the athletes, knowing that they were in the forefront of fighting the previous dictatorship, the Shah's dictatorship?
ما انقلاب کردیم برای رسیدن به آزادی و دموکراسی،
We
ولی
had a revolution to achieve independence and freedom.
ولی خمینی به انقلاب مردم ایران خیانت کرد. ولی مردم ایران، جوانان ایرانی، سازمان‌های انقلابی و در رأسشون سازمان مجاهدین خلق از همون ابتدا با این روشی که خمینی در پیش گرفت و انحصارگرایی که کرد مقابله کرد، در مقابلش ایستاد و بسیار عادی بود که ورزشکاران ایران که نمایندگان مردم ایران هم بودن در کنار مردم قرار بگیره و خواست مردم ایران رو با هر بهایی بیان بکنه و بهای اون رو بپردازه.
Ever since the inception of the Ayatollah regime, the athletes and different groups started opposing it. At the top of the opposition was the People's Mujahideen Organization of Iran, MEK, along with all of the people who have shed their blood for the cause of freedom in Iran.
حبیب خبیری دلاور مرد ورزش ایران، کسی که جان خودش رو برای آزادی ایران گذاشت. مهشید رزاقی، فروزان عبدی، هوشنگ منتظر الظهور، صمد منتظری و بسیار ورزشکارانی که با قبول حبس و شکنجهگاه‌ها سالهای طولانی رو در زندان‌های مخوف رژیم خمینی گذروندن، ولی بر عهد و پیمان خودشون وفادار موندن. و بسیار ورزشکاران ایرانی که مجبور به مهاجرت شدند، ورزشکارانی که قصدشون بود در ایران بمونن، به جوانان ایران خدمت بکنن و ورزش بیسامان ایران رو به سر سامانی برسونن.
Remembering all of those athletes, including Fruzana Abdi and others who have lost their life for freedom, who spent many years in prisons of the Ayatollahs, and being the people who actually wanted to do something, and all of the athletes who had to choose exile instead of having the opportunity to build the sporting system within their own country.
اولین اعتراضات مردمی در استادیوم امجدیه در همون سال 58 شکل گرفت. مردم
The first oppositions got formed in a soccer stadium called Amjadiye in Tehran in the first year of the revolution.
مردم استادیوم امجدیه رو به آتش کشیدن و گفتند که ما این سیاست ها رو قبول نداریم و این کسانی رو که شما در رأس ورزش گذاشتید یه سری آدم سرکوبگر هستن.
People set everything in fire in the stadium, calling for the officials to recognize that the people who are in charge of the sports are not qualified to do that and they are oppressors.
ولی بگذارید به امروز نگاه کنیم. تیم آخوندها تنها تیمی است که در میان 48 تیم شرکت کننده حق اقامت در محل بازی‌های خودش رو نداره.
Let's look at what's happening now. Among the 48 teams that are participating, the Ayatollah's team is the only one who does not have the right to stay at their own camp.
بعد از هر بازی میبایست محل بازی‌ها و کشور آمریکا رو ترک کنه و برگرده به اقامتگاه اجباری که براش در نظر گرفته.
After each game, they have to go back to the place that has been assigned to them outside of US.
همین ماه گذشته رئیس بدنام فدراسیون فوتبالش که یک سپاهی سرکوبگره هست رو به کانادا راه ندادن، در حالی که تمامی رؤسای فدراسیون ها اونجا بودن و امروز هم به آمریکا راهش نمیدن.
Just a few weeks back, the head of the Iran Federation, Football Federation, Mehdi was not allowed into Canada and he's not allowed into the US either.
هموطنان من همه چیز رو میدونن، ولی من وجدانهای بیدار جهانی رو فرا میخوانم در مقابل این جنایاتی که همین چند ماه قبل رژیم بیش از 50,000 از مردم دلیر ایران را به خاک و خون کشید و اکنون هزاران هزار در زندانهای مخوف جمهوری اسلامی در انتظار اعدام، شکنجه و زندانهای طویل المدت هستند.
People of Iran know this, but why are talking to all of the freedom-loving conscious around the world, knowing that the people of Iran have shed a lot of blood in the last uprising, upwards of 50,000 were killed by the regime and many thousands are in prison right now.
کشورهای پیشرفته چگونه اجازه میدن قاتل مردم ایران، رکورددار اعدام کسانی رو به اسم تیم فوتبال اینجا در این میدان جهانی بیاره و اونها رو به نام مردم ایران به جهان غالب بکنه؟
How can the civilized world allow this regime that is a regime that kills people, tortures people, to have a team representing them?
کمیسیون ورزش شورای ملی مقاومت و مسئول آن مسلم اسکندر فیلابی، قهرمان کشته جهان، پهلوان ایران، در اطلاعی که داد که بسیاری از ورزشکاران ملی پوش ایران هم آن را امضا کردند، خواهان راه ندادن این تیم به مسابقات جام جهانی شده و من برای این اومدم که برای خواسته پافشاری کنم و وجدانهای بیدار را فرا بخوانم که به یاری مردم ایران و به یاری مقاومت بیایید.
In a statement issued by the athletes, the committee of the National Council of Resistance of Iran, which is led by Mr. Muslim Iskandar Filavi, who is a Olympic champion, and in Iran he is referred to as the Pahlevan, refers to the issue, to the request that the Iranian regime's federation is controlled by the IRGC and this federation should be expelled by FIFA.
مقاومت ایران به مدت 44 سال یک برنامه برای آینده ایران رو به مردم ایران و به مردم جهان عرضه کرده و خانم مریم رجوی رئیس جمهور برگزیده شورای ملی مقاومت آن را در 10 ماده به ساده ترین وجهی به تمامی جهانیان عرضه کرده است.
For the last 40 some odd years, the National Council of Resistance of Iran has offered a plan for the future of Iran under the leadership of Mrs. Maryam Rajavi. It has been transformed into a 10-point plan for the future of Iran.
حرف ما این است: ما نمیخواهیم رژیم بره، ما جانشین رژیم بشیم. همانطور که همه مقامات این رژیم مخصوصا رئیس جمهورش تأکید کرده، ما خواهان سرنگونی این رژیم هستیم. یک ایران دموکراتیک آزاد که مردم ایران بتوانند آزادانه آنچه را که میخواهند انتخاب کنند.
We are not after taking power in Iran, we are rather after changing the regime, transferring the power to the people so that the people of Iran can have a democratic system of their own.
به همین دلیل همه شما رو و همه آزادی خواهان جهان رو دعوت میکنم که در 20 ژوئن در پاریس حضور به هم رسانید و در مقاومت ایران که برای توقف این اعدام‌های وحشیانه جوانان ایرانی هست شرکت بکنید و اجازه ندید که این رژیم این چنین بی‌پروا به قتل عام مردم ایران بپردازه.
That is why I invite everybody to join the Iranian resistance in the Paris rally on June 20th so that we can raise our voices and put an end to executions in Iran.
من افتخار اینو داشتم که چندین بار در مقابل حبیب قرار بگیرم و بازی بکنم، ولی دوست و همرمز گرامیم یوسف مهدوی هم بازی اوست و سالها در کنار او بوده و میتواند بگوید که به واقع حبیب یک جهان پهلوان تختی دیگر بود. روزی خصایل انسانی، ورزشی و مردمی اون برای همه مردم ایران و جهان بازگو خواهد شد. درود بر حبیب، درود بر کسانی که جان خود را برای آزادی ایران گذاشتند و زنده باد آزادی مردم ایران.
I had the chance to play in teams. Facing the team, Habib was a member of Godnesser. Yusuf Mahdavi was one of Habib's teammates, and you can talk much further about him. But Habib should be compared to Tahti, who is a national treasure in Iran, for the way that he was as an athlete, and their memory is going to be alive and more recognized and treasured in the future.
با درود و سلام به دوستان عزیز و با درود به کانونهای شورشی و ارتش آزادبخش ملی ایران. دوستان مواردی از این جمع که اینجا گرد هم اومدیم گفتم. من بیشتر میخوام به خود حبیب بپردازم.
I start with greeting to the people of Iran, to the resistance units inside Iran, to the Iranian National Liberation Army inside Iran. People have talked about Habib. I want to talk about some personal things that I know about him.
حبیب خبیری یه چند سالی از خود من کوچکتر بود، ولی تمرینات ما تو یک زمین بود و من افتخار آشنایی با اون از اونجا پیدا کردم.
Habib was a few years younger than me, but we used to practice together, and that's when I got the honor of knowing him.
من سعی میکنم یاد حبیب با یکی دو تا خاطره که دوستانی برای من تعریف کردن یا از جاهای شنیدم براتون بگم. در یک بازی فکر میکنم آسیایی بوده در یکی از کشورهای خلیج فارس.
I want to share a couple of memories about Habib. The first one is from one of the Asian games in one of the Asian countries.
تو اون بازی حبیب با یکی از بازیکنان کره برخوردی داشته و ظاهرا اون بازیکن صدمه می‌بینه. شبش سفارت ایران یه اصطلاح مراسم شامی گذاشته بود که هرچی میگردن حبیب پیدا نمی‌کنن که کجاست. برمیگردن هتل می‌بینن حبیب تو اتاق اون بازیکن کره‌ای داره یخ گذاشته رو پاش، داره دلجویی میکنه و رسیدگی میکنه.
Habib apparently had a physical contact in the game with a Korean player. That evening there has been a reception for the Iranian team, but Habib was missing. When the team goes back to the hotel, they found Habib in the Korean player's room, taking care of him by putting ice packs on his injuries.
و موردی هم شاید شما دیده باشین در یه بازی تیم ملی همه رو مجبور کردن که عکس این جلاد خمینی رو به دستشون بگیرن بیارن. تنها کسی که این عکس رو نگرفت حبیب خبیری بود.
You might have seen the picture that in one of the games of the national team, all of the players were forced to hold a picture of Khomeini, who was the person who established this vicious regime. Every member of the team was holding the picture except for Habib, who refused to do that.
با تشکر از شما من اینجا حرفامو پایان میدم و به یاد حبیب قهرمان.
Honoring Habib's memories, I end my talk.
We thank Mr. Adibi and Mr. Mahdavi for their talk. Our next speaker is Bahram Maveddat, former goalkeeper of Iran's national football team and a participant in the 1978 FIFA World Cup. Mr. Maveddat is also a member of the National Council of Resistance of Iran. He joins us today through a recorded video message from Germany. Please direct your attention to the screen.
Pioneer of Iranian football. First, I want to greet and salute you. And then I want to mention that I was with the Iranian national football team at the 1978 World Cup. I was in Argentina. Time, which was truly an honor. As a pioneer of Iranian football, first, I want to greet and salute you. And then I want to mention that I was with the Iranian national football team at the 1978 World Cup. I was in Argentina, and it was the first time, which was truly an honor. Unfortunately, after the anti-monarchy revolution,
We apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm going to invite Milad Sharif to come to the podium for his speech. Milad, come on now.
Hello everyone, my name is Milad Sharif and I am 17 years old. I was born here in the United States, but my heart has always been with Iran. The country where my parents come from, and the country I grew up hearing about. The country I see, that I dream of seeing one day. For the past 16 years of my life, I've always been learning, speaking, and raising awareness about something no young person should ever have to talk about. That is the violation of human rights in Iran. As a wrestler, this issue is deeply personal to me. Wrestling is not just a sport, it is a symbol of honor, strength, and respect. Growing up, I looked up to legendary Iranian wrestler Gholamreza Takhti, not just because he was a champion on the mat, but because he stood up for humanity, for dignity, and for the people. He was more than an athlete, he was a voice. Today, athletes in Iran are punished for having the same courage. They are arrested, they are tortured, and some, heartbreakingly, are executed. Let me share one story of a brave young wrestler who was arrested during the January uprising. Saleh Mohammadi was a young medal-winning wrestler. Just 1 week after his 19th birthday, he was executed. He was executed in public. Think about that. Someone around my age, someone who should have been training, competing, and dreaming about the future, instead, his life was taken. This is not just injustice. This is cruelty. During the recent uprising in Iran, many athletes stood with their people and forgot that they had to pay a heavy price. I stand here today to say we will not forget them and we will not be silent. Sports should unite us and sports should inspire us. But the Iranian regime have turned sports into a tool of fear and control. This is why today I join so many others in calling on the Iranian regime that imprisons and executes its athletes and does not belong on the world stage. But today is not just about injustice, it is also about hope, because there is an alternative. The National Council of Resistance of Iran, the NCRI, represents a future where athletes are free, where no one is punished for their voice, their beliefs, or their dreams. And Ms. Mariam Rajavi's 10-point plan gives us a clear vision of that future. A country with no executions, a country with freedom of speech, a country where women, including women athletes, have full equality, A country where young people can grow, succeed, and shine. A country where champions are celebrated and not executed. This is the Iran I believe in, and this is the Iran that we are fighting for. And let me be clear, change in Iran must come from the Iranian people themselves and the organized resistance, not from outside forces, but from the courage of the people themselves. As a young athlete, I dream of a day when I can compete freely with Iranian athletes, not as victims of a regime, but as equals, as friends, and as champions. Until that day comes, I will keep speaking. I will keep raising my voice because silence is not an option. And today I ask of all of you, stand with the people of Iran, stand with its athletes, and stand with justice. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is Dr. Solmaz Abu Ali, three-time world champion, five-time Pan-American champion, professor, and the first female president of the World Traditional Karate Do Federation. Dr. Abu Ali was unable to join us in person, and she has sent us a recorded messaging. I invite you again to focus attention on the monitor, please.
I left Iran when I was 3 years old. Because of that journey, I grew up with freedoms that allowed me to pursue my dreams as an athlete, as a woman, and as a human being. I carry those freedoms with me, and I speak today for Iranian athletes who deserve the same rights, dignity, and freedom to live and compete without fear. As the world celebrates the World Cup, millions of us gather to cheer for the athletes who inspire us. We celebrate their courage, their discipline, and their excellence. But today, I ask them to remember something deeper. Before athletes are competitors, they're human beings. Athletes everywhere have the same fundamental rights many of us enjoy here in the United States. The right to speak freely, to live free from discrimination, and to compete without fear of persecution. I was fortunate to grow up where those freedoms were protected, yet many of others were not, including 30-year-old boxer Mohammad Javad Vafai-Sani, who is currently sentenced to death in Iran. I can't also forget other names of athletes who ended up paying the ultimate price for exercising their voice and conscience. In 1981, wrestler Hushan Montazir Zuhur. In 1982, football captain Habib Khabiri. In 1988, Fuzan Abdi, captain of Iran's women's national volleyball team. In 2023, national karate champion Mohammad Mehdi Kalami. In 2026, 19-year-old wrestler and medalist Saleh Mohammadi, and 21-year-old karate athlete Sasan Azadvar. These were not symbols. They are athletes. They trained, competed, inspired others, and dreamed of a future. They lost their lives because they stood for freedom in the face of a repressive, oppressive, and deeply patriarchal fundamentalist system. They refused to surrender their voice, conscience, and dignity. And just as they fought in sport, they fought for the most basic human right, the right to speak, to live, and to choose their future. Their courage reminds us that sport and freedom are not separate. Both demand discipline, both demand sacrifice, and both demand courage. As the international community, including organizations like FIFA, define their responsibilities, we have to ensure that the visibility of sports never overshadows human rights, because without athletes, there is no sports. And without freedom, there is no true competition. In contrast, there are also voices calling for a different future in Iran, including the National Council of Resistance of Iran and its 10-point plan introduced by Mrs. Maryam Rajavi, which called for independence and integrity of sports from political control, no discrimination based on gender, ethnicity, or religion, protection of athletes, coaches, and fans, commitment to human rights in all institutions. So as the world watches the World Cup, let's also remember those who can no longer compete or speak. Remember their names, remember their courage, and remember that human rights are not separate from sports. They are what makes sports meaningful. Thank you for your time.
Free athletes in Iran! Now, now, now! Free athletes in Iran! Now, now, now!
We thank Dr. Abu Ali for her remarks. Our final speaker for the press conference is Mr. Shahram Humayunfar, who is a former football player for Homa Football Club, the same club that Habib was footballing for. And we welcome Mr. Humayunfar's remark right now at the podium.
Hello everyone, my name is Shahram Humayunfar. I have been living in San Diego. My name is Shahram Humayunfar. I have been living in San Diego, California since 1978, and I was fortunate enough to be teammate for a short period of time with Habib Khabiri in Iran. I first met Habib Khabiri when he was a young man, and even then, it was very clear that he was special. He was an exceptional, talented soccer player, blessed with remarkable skill on both feet and an outstanding ability to win aerial challenges despite his relatively short stature. His talent, determination, and his leadership eventually led him to become Iran national soccer team captain. That was regarding his soccer ability. But there was another chapter to Habib, which was much more profound. Yet, what made Habib truly unforgettable was not only his ability on the field, but also his character. He was warm, humble, and genuinely kind. Teammates, friends, and fans loved him. He was one of those rare individuals who earned both admirations and affection, becoming a hero to countless number of people. Habib also possessed tremendous courage. For those who lived in Iran, once the Islamic Republic took over, courage was a key thing. The courage was a key for everybody who stood against that regime. At one time, when conformity was demanded, he refused to compromise his principle. On one occasion, members of his team were instructed to carry a photograph of the so-called supreme leader onto the field for a team picture. Habib was the only player who refused. Those who lived in Iran at that time, they understand what courage means. You had to be very courageous not to carry the picture of the supreme leader when everybody else did. He was singled out right there. His popularity, integrity, and commitment to freedom made him a target for Islamic regime. He was arrested, imprisoned, and tortured. On June 21st, 1984, Habib Khabiri was executed for his support for freedom and democracy in Iran. The regime wanted him to denounce the organization that he was affiliated with, the MEK, and he refused to bow to the Iranian regime and fulfill their wishes. More than 4 decades later, his memory endures. He is remembered not only as a gifted athlete and a national team captain, but also as a man of conscience who stood by his beliefs despite the consequences. For many Iranians, Habib Khabiri remains a symbol of courage, dignity, and enduring a struggle for freedom. Habib became a symbol for all athletes to stand on the side of the people to whom they owe their popularity. I'm honored to stand here today and say I'm proud of being among those who will carry torch of Habib Khabiri until our people become free. Thank you.
Well, I thank all of you and all of the speakers. This concludes our press conference portion of program today. I invite all the members of the press to visit our photo exhibition and reach out to me and other speakers for interviews and comments. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here today. On the eve of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, we gather today not only to celebrate the power of sports, but to confront a difficult truth. For many Iranian athletes, sport is not a field of freedom, but a space of repression. Today's press conference and photo exhibition will present compelling evidence of the Iranian regime's systematic interference in football and its violations of the athletes' fundamental rights. You will hear directly from former national team players and human rights activists who have witnessed these realities firsthand. As the world turns its attention to the World Cup, we ask, can the global community and FIFA remain silent? Can they? No. Thank you all for being here today. We're going to take this time to walk around and look at the pictures of our fallen heroes, pay our respect, lay some flowers, and then we're going to meet right back here to have a small walk and continue our rally. Thank you so much.
دسته دسته همینطوری برید شهدا رو ویزیت کنید. از این راه رو سمت این ور میایید داخل اینجا، بعد سمت راست دیدار شهدا و بعدم جمع میشین. یه راهپیمایی کوچیک توی همین پارکینگ هایی داره. خسته نباشید، فقط از این طرف حرکت کنید. اگه گل نداره گل بزنید. گل لطفا حرکت کنید، درود به سمت شهدا توی چمنا برین، دیدار شهدا و دور بزنین، از این راه رو برگردین. حرکت کنین سمت چپ حرکت. لطفا حرکت کنید چون بعدش هم راهپیمایی داریم. سریعتر. سیمان پس شکوفه شکوفه.
Ladies and gentlemen, please go from the left-hand side to the grassy area. Ladies and gentlemen, from the left-hand side.
همه بریم توی چمنا دیدار عکس شهدا رو ببینین، بعد برگردین. بریم توی چمنا سمت چپ. همه بریم به سمت عکس شهدا توی چمنا.
حال شد خسته باش ارادتمند قرباتم خیلی ممنون بیا فعلا همین دیگه ببین
هادی علی رو یادت میاد؟ علی یادت میاد؟
This guy is our classmate from Oklahoma.
وحید جان وحید دیگه اینجوری بشید که بقیه مثل شما بشید زانو بزن جلوی عکس‌ها رو آره همینجوری جلوی عکس‌ها بشید داره فیلم برداری میکنه
سلام حال شما حالتون خوبه شما
They're speaking out. Just speaking out. So how come they can come so free, you know? And because I think in that way we're just going to show that we have a democracy in Iran, we have all the people can have a like a soccer team, basketball team, nothing's going on, everything is fine. But we know that that's not true. You're not we don't going to they're not representing Iran's soccer team. They are Ayatollah.
But you're not specifically booing the players themselves, it's just the organization. Am I correct?
Yes, but it's kind of both sides. They can choose. Like those people you see here, they get vicious. Because they speak
Well, you
out.
either die or you play.
Yes, but I'm not saying it. They should, come out and say something if they're so on choice. But as a human, that's not. As she says right now, one of the teachers, if you don't have a freedom, you don't have a sport, you don't have So I think it's funny. And they, at least they, if they all together say, what
They
they're going to
refused
do.
to stand for the national anthem recently and wore black and a lot of them.
Yes, but
And they were punished. I don't know how, but they said
yes,
they sang it like
I'm not very bothered exactly, so I can't say anything.
I got it from
about
another soccer player.
Yes, but I'm here to support, first of all, all the
continue walking on the sidewalk. Please continue walking on the sidewalk. We will be starting the march soon.
بله بله
دوستان همه جمع بشین ضمن اینکه داریم یه راهپیمایی هم بکنیم با شعار بدیم مرسی از همه خسته نباشید
Everyone, we will be starting the march now. Please find your way to the front of the podium. We're going to walk to the other side of the park.